Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to talk to you a little bit about users and the way that I think you should set your expectations up for basically, or rather something I hope is going to prepare you a little bit for basically working in professional software. Now, something you should know, and you probably do this yourself as well, and I'm pretty sure that you don't think about it at a conscious level. Very, very rarely do people appreciate the work or a product or an app on their phone or so forth. For the most part, the only time you're going to hear any type of constructive feedback or rather any feedback for that matter, without asking for it or having user tests or something like that, is when people complain about something. And I kind of think that is it's kind of funny, because the thing is that if everything is working as it should be working, nobody says anything. It's all quiet for the most part. But as soon as something doesn't work, even if they're getting it for free, even if you're giving away your app for free, people will start complaining. It happens like at the company I work at all the time. Like, you have people, from various places in the world who or in this case it's just in Sweden, who are unhappy with a service that they are getting completely free of charge. And some of them are actually very verbose and almost to the point where they're a little bit almost offensive. And the thing is that is something you're going to have to expect. Users are, for the most part, very ungrateful. And that is not a negative thing. I'm not trying to, be a naysayer here and tell you that, oh yeah, everybody's so mean and so forth. But you've probably been on the internet yourself. How many trolls have you seen? How many people are, when you put anonymity into something, people get much braver and more offensive, if you will, and frustrated and so forth. And the thing is that what has helped me kind of deal with this stuff basically, and kind of get to a point where I don't mind it so much anymore, is that for every one person who is going, like, usually you have user statistics, and usually you will have more users than you will have people who go on your comments board and say something not so nice and so forth. And the way that I like to think about it is that for every person that complains, there's a number that is so much bigger that weighs all of that up, and that's the grateful silent majority. That's the way I measure success when it comes to application development, usage statistics. I don't need somebody to tell me that, yeah, thank you, Frederick, oh, so great of you, or your company, thank you, my services, or whichever company you're working with, thank you so much for bringing me this value, because that's not the way people work. Most of the time they just, they're busy with their own stuff. But if somebody is using the stuff that you made, they made a choice, or they made an investment in your product. Regardless of if it's a paid service or it's a free service. I mean, if it's paid, it's even better. I mean, that's the biggest compliment anybody can give in the modern world. If somebody's paying for what you're making, take that as a big receipt on how great you're doing, because people, they don't give away money for free. So that's a big thank you. That's the way I like to think about it. For every user I have, that's to me the same thing as somebody saying thank you for the thing that you made. It's bringing me some value into my life. And that, at least to me, weighs up a lot of the negativity that you get. If you think about it that way, you actually find out that there's so many people that are grateful for the work that you put in, as opposed to people who are pissed off that something's not working. Usually they are a minority. And I think that if you have if you kind of just, when you deal with people who are a little bit unfriendly or so forth, try to remember that for the most part, odds are that they are they're experiencing an issue with the product that you have. So try to listen to them. Like, even if they're offensive, try to listen to them, because odds are that they are going to give you useful information about how to solve, how to improve your product and so forth. And if, I'm not saying that you should be, you shouldn't encourage people who are offensive, or who don't provide. If they don't provide any constructive feedback, then just ignore them. That's what I do. It's a classic saying, but if you don't have anything nice to say nothing at all. So trust me, if you've ever said something to me that isn't considered to be all that nice, and I haven't responded, that's because I don't have anything nice to say, and I would rather ignore you than encourage a continuing that confrontation. Kill the troll with silence. That's basically how I think about it. But if you take away one thing from this little video of mine, it should be that if you are ever discouraged by people being mean to you, or like on the comments of your app or whatever you produced, remember that as long as that number of users you have, that one person may be the one that you remember, just because you don't hear anything from everybody else. But try to remember that all the other people, they like your application. They're using it. They have made a choice to use something you built. And that is the biggest receipt you can get on that you did a good job.